Meteorologist Matthew East here with you, and thank you for clicking on to the Thursday edition of the Carolina Weather Video. I'm just doing one video today, sort of combining things due to the sort of pressing nature of the area of low pressure along the Carolina coastline. So let's get right into it. This is the surface chart from 6 o'clock this morning, and we got the isobars here gradiated at every 1 millibar interval here. And so notice that we're looking at pretty tight packing here, and that's indicating these northeasterly winds are pretty significant around the area. Very breezy conditions even very early in the day today, and winds will be a big factor. Now this is the sea level pressure combined with the wind barbs, and notice if you look very carefully there are some pretty good sustained winds as I'm cutting this video over portions of the Piedmont. And the winds will only be increasing with time as the day unfolds. Now, what we're looking at here are those green contours. Those are the dew points. And notice the really muggy dew point temperatures are still off the coast as I'm cutting this video. Still a pretty dry air mass in place here in the Piedmont. And so it'll be a process to gradually try to moisten that atmosphere up. And as the rain falls into that dry air, temperatures will stay pretty cool today. There's your temperature map, many spots in the 50s in the Piedmont as we started off the day today, and I think only low to middle 60s for highs in most Piedmont locations this afternoon due to the clouds and the rain that'll be moving through from time to time. Now, quick look here along the coast. This is from the Wilmington National Weather Service office, a plethora of different advisories and watch and warning products out. This shading of purple or pink right along the coast. Those are gale warnings that are in effect, and those really extend all the way from the Outer Banks through much of the South Carolina coastline. And then you get up into the Piedmont, and you have wind advisories in effect for a good chunk of the area, including the Triad, the Triangle, as well as the Charlotte zones for the windy conditions today. All right, here we are, the 6Z run of the GFS model. There's the low pressure approaching the coast. And it looks like, again, it'll be a process to moisten up the air mass here in the Piedmont. This is 2 o'clock this afternoon. This is 8 o'clock this evening. And notice still very light amounts of rain have fallen on this model run here for the Piedmont. So, again, I don't think we see any overly heavy rain until probably tonight. It'll take a while to moisten that air mass up. Here we are at 2 a.m., and the rainfall rate's picking up a bit as the area of low pressure moves on the coast. 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, Friday morning, and we're seeing some pretty good pockets of rain around the area. Same story through the morning tomorrow. That's the rain that will have fallen between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. tomorrow. And then finally between 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. tomorrow, still a good amount of rain falling, especially in the western half of the Piedmont. So let's talk about impacts this system will have for the Carolinas. First of all, along the coast, this is going to look and feel very much like a significant tropical storm. Wind gusts over 60 miles per hour at times. Beach erosion, a pretty big problem due to the winds and the increased surf. Heavy rain at times, and there will be dangerous rip currents in that high surf. All combining to provide for really some pretty lousy weather for the coast today and tonight. And again, it's going to feel like a significant tropical storm coming ashore. For the Piedmont, quite windy today and tonight. We'll see some gusts of winds over 35 and 40 miles per hour at times. The rain will become widespread by tonight, and I think we're looking at periods of rain tonight and tomorrow. High temperatures only in the 60s today and tomorrow, and as we get through, especially I think late early tomorrow, that's when there could be some pockets of locally heavy rain. So a pretty significant system impacting the Carolinas. A nice little homebrew low pressure area that's spinning up and causing some problems. All right, let's look ahead to the weekend. This is 2 o'clock Saturday. Still could be a few lingering showers, but I think in general improvement over the weekend. Sunday looks mainly dry. Guess I can't rule out a shower, but most of us look dry. Monday, same story. Most of us dry. And by the way, it'll be warmer this weekend, back into the low 70s Saturday, back toward the low 80s Sunday and Monday. All right, here we are Tuesday, 2 in the afternoon. Notice a pretty significant cold front moving down to the southeast, and that's a pretty good push of cool Canadian air behind that front that'll be dropping off to the southeast. Here we are as we get into the day on Wednesday, 2 p.m. Wednesday, that front pushing through. Nice high pressure back over the Plain States, and notice the flow of winds out of the north, advecting in that cool Canadian air by mid to late next week. And finally, there we are next Thursday, 1 week from today, 2 o'clock. That's a cool, quiet pattern in place across the eastern part of the United States, and it still looks like we could very well see the coldest air we've seen so far this young autumn season by the mid to late portions of next week. And finally, there's our tropical disturbance northeast of Hispaniola. Looks impressive, some nice thunderstorm activity with it, but the low-level center displaced this morning from where that deep convection is, so no immediate intensification of that tropical disturbance. All right, my blog address, mattheweast.blogspot.com. Email me if you'd like to, matthew.east@news14.com. And remember, News 14 Carolina on television, Time Warner Cable, Channel 14, in the Wilmington, Morehead City television market, as well as the Raleigh, Greensboro, and Charlotte television markets as well, and on the web at www.news14.com. Thank you very much for watching this Thursday edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Everyone have a great day. Be safe out there in the windy, rainy conditions that'll settle in, and we'll have another video posted online for you as we get into Friday morning. Have a great day, and God bless.